Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed. Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. Back-to-back tropical cyclones are now threatening to enter the Philippine area of responsibility as another tropical depression formed east of Mindanao today. The tropical cyclone, which the Pag-asa has been monitoring in the past few days, rapidly intensified into a severe tropical storm with an international name, Goni. Goni has maximum sustained winds of 95 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 115 kph. Goni is still outside the Philippine area of responsibility, or about 1,545 kilometers east of central Luzon, 10 a.m. this morning, but may enter PAR tonight and will be given the local name Rolly. Pag-asa weather specialist Raymond Ordinario noted a big change in the tropical cyclone's initial forecast track, which was towards the Bicol region. It is now seen to move more likely towards the Quezon Aurora area due to a ridge of high-pressure area east of Luzon that is influencing the tropical cyclone track. In Pag-asa's tropical cyclone advisory, Goni will move west, then generally southwest by Friday morning until Saturday morning. It will begin to move generally west by Saturday evening, then west-northwest by Sunday towards the Quezon Aurora area. Ordinario advised the public to prepare for the severe impact of the storm as it may further intensify into a strong typhoon within 24 hours. 3 dams in Luzon released water from their reservoirs today as they were close to spilling level. Citing the data from the flood forecasting and warning section of Pag-asa, 2 gates each were opened in Ambuklao and Binga dams in Benguet this morning. The water outflow from Ambuklao Dam goes down to Binga Dam. Binga Dam's gates were opened at 1 meter each to control the flow of water downstream. Pag-asa advised residents of barangays Dalupirip and Tinongdan in Itogon, Benguet, as well as the concerned local disaster risk reduction and management office to take necessary precautionary measures. Magat Dam in Isabela also continues to release water with one of its gates open at 2 meters. Pag-asa recommended residents living near river areas and channels and low-lying communities in Ramon, San Mateo, Aurora, Cabatuan, Luna, Reina Mercedes, Burgos, Nagilian, and Gamu to take appropriate action in case flooding occurs. President Rodrigo Duterte has authorized an investigation on the country's top diplomat in Brazil for alleged maltreatment of a service staff. The president gave the green light to the Department of Foreign Affairs, which earlier awaited his consent for the probe since ambassadors are presidential appointees. Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodora Locsin Jr. had earlier announced the recall of Philippine ambassador to Brazil, Marichu Mauro, after a video clip showed her allegedly mistreating her household staff. The DFA has assured the public of a thorough investigation on the incident. It has also reached out to the concerned household staff to ensure her welfare as well as obtain her cooperation in the probe. The personnel has reportedly returned to the country.
Pinayagan na po ng Presidente ang Department of Foreign Affairs na imbestigahan ang dating Philippine Ambassador to Brazil na si Marichu Mauro. Bilang isang presidential appointee, kinakailangan po ang pagpayag ng Presidente bago maimbestigahan ang dating Philippine Ambassador to Brazil, Marichu Mauro. Pinaubaya na po natin yan sa Department of Foreign Affairs. Sinigurado naman po ni Secretary Locsin that ipatutupad nila ang karapat-dapat na parusa sa insidenteng ito. So we leave it to the Department of Foreign Affairs.
President Duterte visited his parents' graves in Davao City a day before the start of the 7-day closure of cemeteries, memorial parks, and crematoriums nationwide. In photos shared with the media by his longtime aide, Senator Bongo, President Duterte is seen wearing a face mask during his visit to the graves at the Roman Catholic Public Cemetery in Davao City. He was likewise photographed looking at some old framed photos of his parents and their family. According to Go, Duterte's visit happened at around 6 p.m. on Wednesday. The government has ordered the closure of cemeteries, memorial parks, and crematoriums nationwide from October 29 to November 4 to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. In Metro News, Manila North Cemetery padlocked for Undas. Philippine Red Cross distributes cash aid to vulnerable families in San Juan. And over 200 Quezon City government employees regularized.
The Manila North Cemetery in Santa Cruz, Manila was padlocked on Wednesday afternoon in line with the government's order to close all cemeteries in the country during the Undas period amid the coronavirus disease pandemic. Police and personnel of Manila North Cemetery will be on guard during the temporary closure in case of violations. A holding area was also set up should they be able to arrest violators. Meanwhile, those who live inside the cemetery and are authorized person outside of residence or APOR will be allowed to go in and out of the area. On September 8, Manila Mayor Francisco Moreno de Magoso ordered the temporary closure of all memorial parks, cemeteries, and columbaries from October 31 to November 3 to prevent a surge in COVID-19 infections. The Manila North Cemetery, one of the oldest and largest in the capital city, will be reopened to the public on November 5. The Philippine Red Cross distributed cash aid to vulnerable families in San Juan City, composed of 210 recovered patients from COVID-19. Senator and PRC Chairman Richard Gordon led the distribution together with the International Federation of the Red Cross head Robert Kaufman and Mayor Francis Zamora. Zamora said the beneficiaries received 3,500 pesos cash and 2,000 pesos worth of food packs. The local chief said that San Juan has been reliant on testing provided by the PRC through PhilHealth for its targeted aggressive mass testing program, which is a major factor in decreasing number of active cases in the city. A total of 254 Quezon City government employees have been given regular employment status and will now receive a minimum wage and various benefits. This came after Mayor Joy Belmonte ordered her officials to expedite the city regularization process of the contractual workers. Most of them are working for at least over 9 years now, and asked the latter to regularize employees periodically. Belmonte urged the regularization of workers as she said, "The time has come for Quezon City to depoliticize appointments and promotions and adhere to meritocracy."
Here are the top news in other parts of the country. Baguio City increases tourist arrivals to 500 per day. Cebu City Cemeteries to be closed October 29 to November 4. And Davao region records 113 new COVID-19 cases. More from this report.
Baguio City's Ridge and Reef Tourism Bubble program will now be expanded to cater to the entire Luzon and upgrade from 200 to 500 number of visitors per day. The city's Visitor Information and Travel Assistance or Visita application was also updated and simplified its guidelines online. Visitors of all ages, as long as they have no underlying health conditions, no COVID-19 symptoms or exposures, and not pregnant, can directly book with hotels and won't have to upload their itinerary and booking confirmation. There will also be no need for tour operators or travel agents for staycations. A negative COVID-19 test result is still required prior to travel or upon arrival, as well as a triage of procedure upon arrival. Private and public cemeteries in Cebu City will be closed to public starting today, October 29. The closure of private and public cemeteries from October 29 to November 4 is to prevent mass gathering in cemeteries during the observance of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day and to prevent the spread of the coronavirus disease. Policemen will be deployed 24 hours a day in big cemeteries, while regular patrolling will be conducted in small cemeteries. During the closure, masses will be allowed in cemeteries but there will be no attendees. The Department of Health Davao Center for Health Development reported 113 new additional cases of the coronavirus disease in Davao region on Wednesday, bringing the total number of active cases to 1,108. Davao region has so far recorded a total of 4,976 cases of COVID-19, with Davao City having the most number of active cases with 757. Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte issued Executive Order number 57 on Monday to put accountability to the offices, establishments, and organizations in charge to strictly enforce health protocols within their establishments.
In world news, Biden says halting virus will take hard work as Trump stumps nonstop. Vietnam to evacuate 500,000 as Typhoon Molave approaches. And Iraqi artist creates portraits using thread and nails. Let's watch this report.
Democrat Joe Biden insisted that he will tackle coronavirus from day one if elected president, but warned there is no magic switch to end the pandemic. 5 days before Decision Day, Biden cast his presidential ballot in his home state of Delaware and met with health experts as he fine-tuned his pandemic response plan, seeking to reassure voters that he could use science to fight the contagion. Biden continues to campaign cautiously ahead of next Tuesday, holding low-key events with small, socially distanced crowds that look nothing like the traditional scene in the closing days of a White House race. Donald Trump, by contrast, is finishing his campaign in an extreme test of endurance, with final pitches to voters both in swing states and also states that he won in 2016 yet now has to defend. On an airport tarmac in Bullhead City, Trump all but ignored the COVID-19 crisis, and many supporters didn't bother with masks as they cheered his defiant insistence on a landslide victory November 3, despite polls pointing to heavy chances of defeat. Flood-ravaged Vietnam has begun evacuating more than 500,000 people from its central coastal region as it braces for Typhoon Molave, the fourth storm to hit the country in weeks. Schools and beaches have been closed and many flights canceled ahead of the severe typhoon. It is forecast to make landfall south of Da Nang, packing minimum sustained winds of 140 kilometers per hour, according to the Hong Kong Observatory. More heavy rain is expected across the region, which has since early October suffered severe flooding, and landslides have claimed 130 lives. A young artist strives to keep the almost extinct Ottoman art of philography alive in Karbala, central Iraq. The Iraqi artist Saeed Houidi used thread and nails and focuses on portraits type of art. He finishes his masterpiece in 15 to 20 days because of the complications on its dimensions and angles. Saeed is hoping that many young artists like him will engage the philography art, which is rare in the present generation.
In entertainment, a woman who is claiming to be the ex-girlfriend of K-pop boy band EXO member Chanyeol has accused him of cheating on her while they were in a relationship for 3 years. She claimed that in the 3 years that they were together, Chanyeol cheated on her by sleeping with other women, including a K-pop girl group member, a YouTuber, a broadcast jockey, and a dancer, and a flight attendant. Chanyeol's scandal is another headache for SM Entertainment. It comes after, as the company is reeling from the controversy involving K-pop girl group Red Velvet leader Irene, who was exposed by an editor-stylist for her rude behavior. Narciso Y. Santiago Jr., husband of the late Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago, has offered assistance to newly crowned Miss Universe Philippines Rabia Mateo of Iloilo City. Mr. Santiago expressed gratitude to Mateo after she praised his wife during the final question and answer portion of the inaugural pageant. Mateo ended her answer saying that Senator Santiago was the best president the Philippines never had. A feisty senator, Miriam died in her sleep on September 29, 2016, while she was being treated for lung cancer. So far, Rabia Mateo is the most followed Southeast Asian Miss Universe candidate with around 364,000 followers on Instagram. Meanwhile, Miss Universe 2018 Catriona Gray defended the newly crowned Mateo from criticisms as she advised her to turn negativity into something that will make her stronger. Gray shared that she has personally reached out to Mateo and comforted her, saying that as a Miss Philippines, there will always be people who would talk about you and give both positive and negative comments. In sports, Phoenix Super LPG hopes to build on the successful comeback of Calvin Abueva when it battles his former team Alaska today in the PBA Philippine Cup at the Angeles University Foundation Sports and Cultural Center. With Abueva back, many see Phoenix as a team with a legitimate chance of winning the crown, something Alaska coach Jeffrey Carriazo acknowledges. Carriazo said that with the addition of Abueva in the Phoenix roster, it would give the Fuel Masters an extra spark and extra all-star. Alaska is coming off from a 99-96 victory over Terra Firma last Tuesday. And those are the news on Web today, October 29, 2020. It's 56 days before Christmas. For more news and details, get your copy of Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow or log on to www.mb.com.ph. Or you may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Join us again tomorrow. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.